Hello, YouTube coin collectors and stackers. Today we're talking gold, specifically Goldbacks. And I just returned from the National Money Show in Atlanta, where we had all sorts of Goldbacks on sale. The company that makes the Goldbacks had their table there as well, and they were trying to sign up dealers to sell them. So let's talk about Goldbacks, what they are, what their intended purpose is, and kind of what the economics are and where they make sense and where sort of for me at least, the point of departure is where these no longer make sense. So what are Goldbacks? You can see me waving some around here. And these are one Goldback notes. You'll see the various states that we have here. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can get a little bit closer look at these. So we have, in this case, we have this nice Wyoming. We have a Utah, and you can see the beautiful designs on them. These are from 2023. 2023 Nevada Goldback, one Goldback. A New Hampshire. Hidden back there is a South Dakota, which is a really pretty design with the bison and the eagle. New Hampshire. And the one I just picked up yesterday in Atlanta, the new Florida Goldback. And I'm doing my best to keep these out of the ring light, but they are shiny because they're gold. And everything that glitters is gold in this video. So let's talk about Goldbacks. So the intention of Goldbacks is to get gold into the average person's hand in a fractional basis and have something that is fungible and tangible, right? So this is something we could trade for something else. So the states that we just showed, or I just showed here, are states where Goldbacks are optional currency. And there are merchants that opt in. Some of these states will take these as payment for all sorts of taxes and debts, but they're essentially optional currency that the state is endorsing. At the show, there was talk about potentially Texas coming online, but we'll see what happens there. So let's talk about the Goldbacks themselves. So these Goldbacks come in all kinds of denominations. We just looked at the one. Here's a Nevada 5. So they come in 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 traditionally. But Florida went and sort of upped the ante a little bit, and Florida added a couple of new ones. They added a half Goldback and a 2 Goldback, along with a 100 Goldback. And you won't see one of those in this video, and I'll tell you why when we get to that part. So they added a couple of fractional ones, and also potentially like the most attractive Goldback of all time. This is a stunning, stunning, stunning piece. The artwork on this, it's probably the most, I would predict this will be the most popular Goldback ever, just based on the design of it. So when I was there, I was able to pick up these Florida ones. We had some of these other ones. Recently, I also picked up this at the Long Beach show. This was the only Goldback I could find at the Long Beach show that I didn't have, which is this Wyoming 5. But let's talk about what these mean. Are these $5? What do the numbers mean? What do these denominations mean? Essentially, what they mean is it's a fraction of an ounce of gold. So starting with a half Goldback, this half Goldback, and you can see the denomination down here. Let me zoom in for you a little better. 1/2000th, troy ounce 24 karat gold. So what is 1/2000th? Well, in today, yesterday's closing price for gold spot, $2,872. This has $1.44 worth of gold, making it highly fractional. Moving up to the next Florida Goldback, these things are just beautiful. The 1 Goldback has 1/1000th, which you divide the spot price of gold, $28.72, by 1,000, and you get $2.87. The 2 Goldback, of course, 1/500th, $5.74. The gorgeous 5 Goldback here, 1/200th, or $14.36, based on yesterday's closing price. Let me get this goofy Franklin gold one out of the way. The $10, 1/100th, or $28.72. I don't have any beyond this to show you, but there is a 25, which is 1/40th of an ounce, a 50 Goldback, 1/20th, and a 100 Goldback, which is in Florida only. That's 1/10th of an ounce of gold. So we start to look at the economics of this. And do the economics of Goldbacks make sense? So I did some crunching of the numbers. And when I started buying Goldbacks, maybe a year ago or so, I was paying 6 times face. So one Goldback would be $6. Gold has gone up a bit since then. And a Goldback today at the show, I went around and everybody was selling it for the same 7 times face. So if we go and look at the basic economics of, say, a 5 Goldback piece, so again, this is 1/200th of an ounce, 24 karat gold. And a 5 Goldback note contains $14.36 worth of gold as of yesterday's closing price. At 7 times face, this pretty lady is $35. So you're paying $35 for $14.36 worth of gold. It's about a 240% premium, right? It's 243% the cost of spot gold at that level. Now, whenever we get down into fractional amounts, the lower we go, the higher the premiums go up. So there should be no surprise that these would have high premiums. They're gorgeous. They're probably quite expensive and technical to manufacture, and you're paying for all of that, as well as the marketing, the booth at the National Money Show, and all of this other stuff that you get with these. So I think these are excellent to get gold in the hands of people who can't afford an ounce of gold, or a 1/10 of an ounce of gold, or even a 1/20th of an ounce of gold, or a gram of gold. And they're attractive and they're fun to collect, which is why I have them. I have them more for the collectibility value. So this $10 note here, or 10, not $10, 10 Goldback, 1/100th, $28.72 at 7 times face is $70. So again, this is a pretty massive premium, 243%. And I kind of cut them off at the $10 notes, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. The 25 Goldback note, to me, is right on the border of what I might be willing to pay for these notes before it starts to get more attractive for me to buy other forms of gold. So a 25 Goldback, it's a 1/40th of an ounce, $71.80. That's going to cost you $175. So when we get up to $175, some interesting things start to happen. First thing is, oftentimes in my dealer's showcase, they'll have gold pandas and other things in there that are about $160 for a 1/20th of an ounce. Now, to get to 1/20th of an ounce, you would have to get to a 50 Goldback. So let me take out my little cheat sheet here so you guys can see it. And I can start to point to things. Let me grab a pointer type device. And I apologize if I'm getting too far away. These videos are unedited, probably at my to my regret at times like this. But so here's all your calculations and prices. So if I in my dealer's cabinet can start to find, say, 1/20th ounce gold pandas for around $150, $60, and a 1/20th of an ounce, which is a 50 Goldback, is $350. Well, obviously I'm far better off buying the 1/20th of an ounce. And if we come down here, these are from APMEX. I went on APMEX before I made the video, and we can see here that APMEX is charging for a 1/20th ounce maple, $283, a 1/20th ounce Libertad, $318. Yeah, those are 1/20th of an ounce. And then we have these 1/10 ounce, believe it or not. So you got these weird kind of pricing spikes on these guys. A generic 1/10 ounce, gold generic round, $323. And a 1/10 Eagle, gold Eagle, $373. So let's jump back up here for a 1/10 ounce. I would have to get to 100 Goldback, which is only available in Florida, for 1/10 ounce, $287 worth of gold for $700. So if we come back down here and look at what we can get for $700, well, I can get basically two 1/10 ounce American gold Eagles, 10th ounce Eagles, for about the same price as a 100 Goldback Florida Note. So to me, the real threshold, you cross that at a 25 Goldback Note, which is why I don't own any of them, because you start to get to these interesting scenarios. So again, keep that number in mind. A 100 Goldback Note costs you $700. Here's a $5 gold coin from 1892. This one's a little nicer than, say, a jewelry grade one. I'd say it's probably like AU in that range. And kind of a middle AU coin, but it's attractive. It's got nice luster on it. They were selling coins like this, not this nice, but jewelry grade, meaning it's going to be kind of ugly to look at, for spot. So if you think about this coin, this is a $5 gold coin. This coin contains $690 worth of gold as of yesterday's closing price, spot price, and you're picking these up at spot. So if we take a look back at our cheat sheet here, what we're going to see is that if we look at pre-33 gold, for example, a $5 gold piece like the one we just looked at has almost a quarter ounce of gold. And basically you can buy jewelry grade pieces for around spot. So this is for a 100 Goldback, 1/10, $700. For the same price as this, you can buy a jewelry grade $5 half eagle and get 2.5 times the gold, which is essentially the premium, right? So you can collapse this whole premium that you're paying for this by buying jewelry grade pieces down here, like a quarter eagle. I bought, quarter eagles right now have $344, almost $345 worth of gold in them. And I bought this beautiful AU piece. Let me zoom in here a little bit. 1928. It's a solid AU coin, high AU coin, probably a 58. And you can see I paid $450 for that. Well, I paid $450 for $344 worth of gold. However, this is a collectible piece, A, and B, that's only about a 30% premium over the spot price, which is an excellent price for a piece like this. Really an excellent price for a piece like this. And so a 30% premium means that essentially with this guy, I'm getting just over 1/10 of an ounce of gold. So I'm getting 0.1209 troy ounces of gold for this. So about 20% more gold than this guy. So if we look at the 100, again, this Florida 100, which is a 1/10 ounce. Again, this is like, 20% more gold. And this is $700. And this is $450. And you get this beautiful historic piece on top of that. So what's interesting is you start to say, okay, well, if I'm buying these to collect them, that's a whole different story. You want to get all the designs, you're willing to pay the premium. They are gorgeous. They're beautiful. The Florida Notes particularly are stunning, and I don't blame you for going out and collecting them all. When it comes to the practicality of why am I collecting these? Am I collecting these because I'm concerned there's going to be some barter element at some point in the future, or I'm going to be needing to trade these? That's fine. Will you get the full premium? 7 times face? It's hard to know if you get the full premium for these if you were trading them, say, in a apocalyptic scenario. You're probably going to get gold value, which means, off what you paid for them, you're probably going to lose at least half your money in a trading scenario with these. However, if you're in a situation where this is what's traded as currency, it may trade at the premium value. It's hard to know. For me right now, I would call these collectible lollipops. They're really cool. They're really beautiful. Obviously, I like them and I collect them. But my cutoff point is at the 25 note. So I don't typically buy anything more than 10. I don't own any 25, 50s, or 100s for the reasons I stated. Again, if I'm going to buy 100 Goldback, I would rather get 2.5 times the gold and have this beautiful Liberty head half eagle, or pay half as much and get, well, not quite half as much, but you get the idea, and get about 20% more gold in this beautiful Indian head quarter eagle Or even this, I bought this for around $400 before I had it slabbed. And it came out MS62. This Panama Pacific commemorative $1 gold piece has $138 worth of gold in it. But if you look at the premium that I paid for it, I'm kind of up there in Goldback prices. And that happens with some of these $1 gold pieces because these have tremendous premiums. You can see on this one, this has $138 worth of gold in it. Then I'm paying about 2x. So it's a little cheaper, say. Of course, I could go with something like this. This is just a little gram bar in a 2x2 flip. You could trade this. You could trade this just like, you know, something like this. This little 1 gram bar today actually has about $92 worth of gold in it. So this would be the equivalent, more or less, of a 10.5 Goldback. If you were to think of it that way, it'd be like a 10 Goldback plus a 5 Goldback. So it would be these two guys for purposes of illustration. These would equal this if I'm in a trading scenario. Except for this, I'm going to pay about spot, maybe a little higher than spot, versus, say, these two, which I'm paying, you know, 2.43 spot for those. Then you can even mix it up a little further and go with something cool like these cool Mexican gold coins, these 2 pesos, 2.5 pesos, 5 peso, 10 peso coins. I don't have any 10 peso. Oh, yeah, there's a 10 peso right there. My apologies. And these guys you can pick up relatively close to spot as well if you're into Mexican coinage, which I am. And then the other thing that you get when you're buying gold, like this, here's a 1907 half eagle, is that you can, if you are a decent grader, you can get in a good situation like I did with this one, which is I paid $30 over melt for this, which at the time was $685. Sent it into PCGS because I knew it was an exceptional coin. It came back MS65. Just got this back today, so this is my official unboxing of this. And it's now, you know, gray sheet over $2,000 for this coin. That's not going to happen with these guys, at least not yet anyway. So you have the ability to get your bullion value plus a big bump if you're a decent grader and you know kind of what you're looking for out in the wild. Did the same with this one. I paid, you know, a light premium for this. I think it was $425. Now at an MS62, it's somewhere, you know, closing on $700. Again, you know, some dealers, they're just in the business of buying and flipping. They're not really, they just get gold in. They want to get gold in, make their margin, get it in, get it out. Happens with bullion as well. Now, before I forget, before we leave, I want to look at a couple other cool pieces just because they're cool. When we talk about kind of this foil, these foil notes, which is what they're called, it's one of my favorites. Actually, I have 2 of these. These are silver dragons. These are 1 Silverbacks. And these are probably my favorite. I mean, who doesn't like dragons and stuff with treasure? So these I bought in Utah on a road trip with my daughter. We're going to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, and I found these there. So if you look at the, you know, the premium on these, we can argue, well, it's not the best, but these have some practicality and usefulness, say, at 10 Goldbacks and below. This is a pure lollipop. So this is 1,000th of a troy ounce of pure silver. So if you do the math on that, it's worth about 31 cents. And, you know, these cost about $15. So that makes the Goldbacks look very affordable by comparison, but you're not buying this for that reason. You're buying this because it's just super cool. Like if I was buying, you know, if I didn't think it was so cool, I wouldn't have gotten 2 of them at those sort of nosebleed valuations. But and good luck finding these out. I mean, I've been to so many shows and where I've seen these one time in one coin shop, and I bought all the ones they had, which was 2. And I picked this one up in Atlanta as well. And this is a silverback that makes the Silver Dragon Silverback look like a bargain. This is Wizard of Oz. And instead of her ruby slippers, she's putting on silver slippers. And very cool. I just saw it in the case. This was also $15. And it is 1/400th of an ounce of gold. And at 1/400th of an ounce of gold, you know, you're talking, you know, quite a little bit of gold there. So it's probably a little bit more than the Silver Dragons in value, say 75 cents. Now, it's funny because when I saw this initial, I thought it said 1/4000th. and it's 1/400. So I thought it was really 1/4000. So I calculated at 7.8 cents, but it's obviously significantly more than that. It's more like 78 cents. But very cool pieces. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was helpful in helping you understand some of the prices that we see out there for these things, what Goldbacks are, what their uses are. For me, you may be different, but for me, where the kind of the cutoff point is and where I would buy these before I would cut over to, say, actual, bullion coins like these, which I believe are just as fungible as these. These are, in fact, still legal tender officially. But I believe, correct me in the notes if I'm wrong about that. As always, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, happy collecting.